I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
my head up.
I'm South Carolina, so I just...
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Moss?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Done.
And that'll be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself.
The doctor lived next door to the janitor, to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
Letting His glory shine through. That'll be you, that'll be me, that'll be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. Entered the winning for the long haul, baby. I was just thinking to myself, how many bankers do I know? Do you know any bankers? Oh, that first tip. You know, if you run a business, you have to have bail. You know what bail is? It's for all of my entrepreneurs out there, would-be entrepreneurs, business people. If you run a business, you have to have bail. No, not like bail in bail bondsman. Bail as in a banker, an accountant, an insurance person, and a lawyer. Did you know that? Did you know that? For all people running a business, I would highly advise you have bail for your business. I try to take my own advice too. So let's start with the banker. Hey, Phil Allen, are you a banker?
Yes, sir, Doni. Good morning. Yes, I am.
Good morning. And what's your bank?
Well, I'm just going to say I'm a banker.
Okay.
I worked at most of the local banks here in Baltimore, and I work for a local bank here in Baltimore now.
Okay, good enough. I was, because I know those aren't the colors. Those are different colors. That's the blue. We're talking about the blue today?
That's what I thought we were.
Well, damn, I got
but we
that
can talk about both. You the boss.
No. There's so many things that are going on in my head because you got to get approval and all of those things.
Right.
But
right.
I was thinking, like, can you answer a few questions for me? I do have a question. The state of Maryland, they came on the news like they no longer have a AAA rating, and then I heard they do have the AAA rating, but the prognosis is not good. What
Correct.
does an everyday consumer like me, how do I make sense of this news?
Well, what they're saying about the rating, Maryland still has a good rating, but we're dipping towards losing that rating because of the spending. It said that, down at the State House, they're spending more than they're taking in. So that's a little cautionary. And the governor doesn't want to raise taxes. So the experts are saying, how are we going to pay for these different programs if we're not going to raise taxes and we're spending? So that's what caused our rating to dip.
Well, I didn't have to put this vest on if we weren't going to talk about banking. I have to call myself, at least give you a little banker look,
I know I would have had on my suit, but that's not what you
Okay,
told me.
okay. But since we have you, I mean, you're my main man, 500 grand. But why they spending so much? Do you know? Do you have any
Oh,
idea?
I have no idea. I mean, well, we got to support different programs. Of course, we got to pay the police officers. We got to pay the school teachers. We got to pay the people who work for the state. So,
I just want to get one thing clear. The last governor left a surplus, and
yes,
now
yes,
the
he did.
prognosis is we spending too much. I'm just trying to what happened?
Yeah,
Like
I'm
it's like
questioning that.
you still there? Did he freeze up on
I'm
me?
here.
Okay. It's like you give your
Yeah,
kid $20 and he come back later by noon and say, I need another $20 for lunch. And it's like, what you do with the first 20?
right, right.
Okay.
Well, but you're the expert. Be More News is the expert on should be on the expert of uncovering the truth.
I will. I'm trying to be on pause, trying to give everybody a break, trying to let them do their thing, trying to give them room. Show me what you
Mhm,
got. Um,
mhm.
so we're gonna get to your fraternity. But what about on the personal level? How are interest rates these days?
Oh man, the prime lending rate is 8.5%.
Is
So
that
it's
good or bad?
tougher. It's tougher to buy a house today.
That's bad.
Cars and credit cards, lines of credits. But like Warren Buffett says, when there's a crisis, there's opportunity. So you got a lot of people now. There's a lot of development going on in Baltimore City. A whole lot of development, and a
How do you
lot
know?
of banks. A lot of banks will participate in that through their community development programs.
How do you know there's a lot of development going on?
I mean, me being a banker, I'm privy to some of those things, and then just riding through Baltimore City, ride up North Avenue, ride up Park Heights, ride over Waverly. You see this development coming on. Ride down Harbor East. You see the development. I tell people all the time, in the next 5 to 10 years, Baltimore is going to change.
5 to 10 years. So let's see, I'm 59, 69.
I know. I think we will. It'll be the beginning, but probably be the end for us.
I feel lied to. I feel like it was supposed to be here 20 years ago.
Oh, 40 years ago. You know what they promised us.
Well, let's start with the lottery. They promised money for education, yet we got schools with no air, no heat. Now, city, one of those schools, those kids are now going to UB. You got what high school did you go to, Phil?
I went to Northern when it was a very, very, very good school.
The Northern Vikings. I think I won my first wrestling match up there.
Okay, yep. I was there in the late 70s, graduated 1980.
1980.
Mm-hmm.
That was 3 years before me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had a couple of stars up there, didn't you?
Oh, we look, who don't like to claim us is Mayor Jack Young. He graduated from Northern.
Yeah, why
Thomas,
Jack never wear Northern hat?
right, he always got on Dunbar.
Yeah,
well,
I feel a certain kind of way about that.
well, that's where his roots are from. I mean, he did attend Dunbar. Thomas
I went
Branch,
to college, but I graduated from Dunbar. You're supposed to give where you graduated
right,
from
right.
supreme props.
Right. I agree. Thomas Branch went to Northern. Scott Donahue went to Northern.
Get out of
Al-
here. Scott Donahue.
Scott Donahue went to Northern. Alfred Gladden went to Northern.
Who is Alfred Gladden?
One of the most prominent barbers in Baltimore City has ever seen. Used to be on Gay Street. Alfred Gladden was an awesome basketball player at Northern.
So y'all had East Siders and West Siders.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What happened to those good old days, man?
I know, man. I tell you, hey, look, Donnie, I'm a guy. I grew up in Lafayette Projects, man, and from
Did
60.
you?
Yes, I did. I was there from 68 to 72. In the 60s, man, we could leave our doors open all night long. And that's no lie. We could leave our doors open. we had a maintenance man called Mr. Charlie, who would clean the building from the 11th floor to the first floor with that bleach and pine saw. Man, it was beautiful. But my mom, my parents divorced when I was young, and my mom worked and went to school, become a nurse. She always strived to get us out. So, she got us out, I think, before it really, the projects went bad. 'Cause the projects were not bad in the late 60s and mid 70s. They were not bad at all. It was a good place to live.
But like you said, there was the understanding that you're not going to be here for 6 generations.
Correct. Correct.
Y'all were there 4 years, cop and bop, in and out, stick and move.
Yep.
This wasn't supposed to be where you raise your great-great-grandchildren.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly right.
I want to tell you a story, man. One day over at Dunbar, so this is 11th and 12th grade. Now, I've been to Murphy Homes, and I was an adventurous young man, an adventurous lad ever since I was yay high.
I believe that.
I remember one time I left Norfolk Greenmount. I called myself walking to West Baltimore. I was about 6 years old. I made it up there to Old Piley. The Good Humor truck had to take me home. I had lost my point of reference that fast. I got home, I got hugged, and then I got my hind parts whipped.
Right. Thank God you made it in. And then, where were you been at, boy? I remember those days.
Anyway, one day, somebody said, let's go over Lafayette. They were going over somebody's house. Now, I never lived in the PJs. I did live above a funeral home. Okay,
yeah, I've heard you tell that story.
Yeah, me and Black Steve used to lock him in the morgue over in Norfolk Greenmount. Anybody we had a problem with. Let me show you something. Anyway, I remember being petrified. This was 1981.
Oh, yeah, they were done then, brother. They were done.
I heard so many stories. Here's a story, though. Now, I'm living over Moreland Avenue, Moreland and Baker, Easterwood Park. Now, down the hill, of course, Gilmore Homes. But I'm going to tell you, Phil, when we went inside this apartment, they had floor model TVs. They had wall-to-wall carpet, shag carpet. It was like, wow. And the first lesson I learned is, don't judge.
That's right. That's right.
If you haven't been there, you don't know.
That's right.
The second thing I learned is that there were people who were just as afraid of us as we were of them.
That's right. That's right.
We think because a person lives here that they are this or they are that. Don't judge. You don't know what you don't know. They might be looking at you like you the criminal.
That's right. That's right.
But I also found some of the greatest love in the world. But I will tell you, yeah, a lot of love. Once you know somebody, you're good. My cousin Perkins, then they started coming with all them leaves, apple leaf, peach leaf, and all them daggone leaves.
Man, Mr. Leon Howard taught Muggsy Bogues, Reggie Williams, Skip Wise, Tim Green, Larry Gibson, taught all of us how to play basketball, taught us the fundamentals of basketball. He was like a surrogate father to us. Was down there at the center. We called it the center. It was called the Lafayette Center. We called it the center. We wanted to play basketball so much. We would break in the center on Sundays to play basketball. I tell you, and it's no doubt Lafayette has produced some of the greatest basketball players to come out of the state of Maryland.
No question. So Skip Honey Dip Wise, the story I understand is he would dribble a basketball from East Baltimore through downtown to West Baltimore.
I've heard that story. My sister graduated with him in 75. They say when Skip was in school, all he used to do was just drink milk all the time. Until he was a big jokester. I had the pleasure of talking to him one time. He said, if you couldn't tell jokes, you couldn't go to Dunbar. So you might know that as well.
No, they ain't tell me that. I came from Poly. I didn't. It was a different set of rules when I came in. It was a different set of rules. I didn't tell no damn jokes. Came from Poly, man. Dunbar was like a relief. After 2 years of Poly A course, Dunbar was a welcome relief, man. There was no going outside at Poly. There was no weekends. None of that. You're going to learn this quadratic equation, the physics, and it was drilling it, man. I came to realize I did not want to be an engineer. And then I didn't feel very welcome to Poly. I didn't feel, I came from Lamel, went from Lamel to Poly. But
that's a big culture change.
Damn right it is. That at Lamel, you better have that mean, you better be able to sting them, boy. Especially at the school, you better be able to get it in quick. Because somebody get popped, and it wasn't going to be me. And Lamel had all these different neighborhoods around it, man. But East Baltimore, it was different. I'll tell you this. When we lived in East Baltimore, it was a different code than West Baltimore.
It's still like that today.
There was more honor in East Baltimore. More honor. There was a code. Certain lines you don't cross. West Baltimore, there are no rules. No damn rules.
Right. You're preaching. Right. Well, you know what? And it's amazing to me. Baltimore is not that big. We're not like New York with the boroughs. And we got East Baltimore and West Baltimore don't like each other. Cherry Hill, Park Heights. I could never understand that when we live in this little small town.
I got roots on both sides, and East Baltimore dressed differently.
Absolutely.
East Baltimore is more coordinated.
Yes. Yes. Well, I tell you, when I went to Morgan, I had a professor said we could have ran the town forever. The Mitchells could have been the mayor. Then DuBurn could have been the mayor. The Mitchells, excuse me. And then you know, we could have just kept it running. We could have just worked together instead of having the East Baltimore thing and then the West Baltimore thing. Keep us divided. Just keep us divided.
Parochial thinking.
Yeah.
I was in D.C. yesterday at the White House, and hey, Woody, I was in D.C. yesterday at the White House, and I lost my train of thought. Is this Woody? Is that the techie Woody? I think that's the techie Woody. I'll get back to the White House. So tell me about the secondly, thank you for inviting me out. I didn't finish my story about Lafayette. We talked about the code, East Baltimore, West Baltimore. I wanted to ask you, we talked about Skip Honey Dip. John Eager Howard, I got to put a shout out for them. I think that was the best chance West Baltimore had of beating East Baltimore.
Well, that didn't happen too often. I tell you, at 13, I played for Lafayette, 13 and under, and we went undefeated. My main man, Dwayne Woods, Kosher, Kevin Woods, Turtle. I tell people all the time, I was at my famous spot, the Place Lounge, last Friday, and I told the guy, when I was 13, I started over Reggie Williams because I was 13 and he was 11. I was taller than Reggie Williams then. He grew, I didn't grow. Ralph Lee was on that team. Spoon, James Spoon was on that team who played in Vegas. I had an all-star team, but I was a little older back then.
Wow. So, you know, 83 was a year Reggie, Muggs, Truck, all the cats there on Tim Dawson.
Yes.
National championship. I never knew you played ball. You played
know.
Greats.
Yeah, I played it down at Lafayette. Yep.
You got pictures?
Yes, I do. I still have my BNBL book.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you still got your BNBL shirt. I was like, wow.
Oh man, I wish I would have kept my jacket. I left my jacket when I was playing baseball one day and left the jacket, man. That was an honor, man, to be 13 playing down at the Civic Center. That was an honor, man. I was scared to death though when I played. But having Dwayne Kosher on the team, no fear. This guy, I tell you, everybody loves Muggsy, but Muggsy patterned his game after Dwayne Kosher Woods. He patterned his game after him.
And for those listening, you're saying kosher like Jewish kosher?
Yes. Kosher went to Dunbar, Duke and Kosher.
Right. So I've met Kosher since then, thanks to Gregory
Branch, right.
And Kosher, you know, it's funny, man. Are you familiar with, and he just went home, Mr. Winky Camper?
Absolutely. My frat brother.
Right. So he and I hit it off at Coppin, bunch of back and forth. I never knew he was a basketball legend.
He scored the most points in Coppin history, like 54 points.
I'm gonna tell you something else. When I went to Dunbar from Poly, I knew nothing about their basketball legacy.
Wow.
That's not even why I went there. I went there fleeing Poly.
Right. Dickie Kelly went there with this one guy, Anthony Brown. Oh my goodness. He got stabbed, Donnie. Was going to UCLA before Skip Wise. This boy was the truth. Was going to go to UCLA, would have played with Kareem, Lou Alcindor. It got it. My sister had in the yearbook, walls fell to hold a leaping Tony Brown. And my big brother, Timmy Green, about 7 years ago, we finally put a tombstone on Tony's gravesite.
I never knew this, man. You got to write a book.
Oh man, I know. Everybody got a book in them. Everybody, I think I do.
I'm
That's right.
on 3, and it's not that difficult. You got to write a book. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you something. Real story. I'll never forget this book. This cat in Brooklyn, Latino, wrote a book about Dunbar. The year I came out the crates. And these cats, these players, hey man, they got me in this book. They got me in this book. And I'm saying to myself, write your own book. I don't want to hear your story through the lens of a cat in Brooklyn. What's wrong with writing your own daggone book? Why can't you write your own?
That's right.
I heard some things in that locker room. I'll leave that alone. Tim Dawson was a scholar athlete.
Yes. Went to Miami and was the principal at Poly. I mean, I'm sorry, at City. Now
that is huge. Because when I got to tell you, when I left Poly to go to Dunbar, my cats at Poly said, you going down to Dumb Bar. I got to tell you, I could bring on this show our main man, Clarence Tiger Davis, and he'd drop a litany of names of Dunbar masterminds and geniuses.
Reginald F. Lewis went to Dunbar. Come on, man. You know, get no more powerful than that.
How many cats from Poly did the first corporate takeover of TLC Beatrice?
Come on. That's
How
right.
many? Come on, Poly. I know you know quadratic equations. Can you count that Skrilla, though? Like Reginald F. Lewis.
That's right.
And he was an athlete.
Yes.
And a philanthropist. So
and went to a HBCU first, Virginia Union, I believe.
Virginia Union. And then talked his way into Harvard Law School.
Yes.
Straight out of East Baltimore, sold afros, as did I. You sold afros?
I never sold afro. I sold the News American for a minute. One Sunday.
My cousin lived over Lafayette. He said they could tell back in the late 60s, 70s, they say they could see a cat at this end of the block, and they knew by the time he got to that other end of the block, he was going to get got.
Yeah, that's about right.
I tell you what I later learned in life. The flag over West Baltimore was Murphy Homes and Lexington Terrace.
Right.
Over East Baltimore was Lafayette and Flag. I went up in Flag one day, boy, up the stairwell. Click. Them cats had Uzis on every.
Oh man. The wire was a real thing, bro. The wire was a real thing.
Those were not my greatest days. I saw it with my own eyes. Mind your business. You know how you live long in Baltimore? Mind your business.
That's right.
I ain't seen nothing. Don't ask me nothing. I ain't seen nothing. That's how you live in Baltimore.
That's right.
It's a survival tactic.
Absolutely. You better be able to.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yes, sir.
It ain't gonna be no knock at the door. It's gonna be a bat in the back of the damn head.
Oh man,
And
I
I can
tell
tell
you.
you, my dad,
Right.
Lord have mercy. Do you remember during the 68 riots? I'm getting ready to check your temperature. Do you remember seeing coat hangers with steel wool affixed to the end, lit on fire, and thrown through the air?
Absolutely, Donnie. We was living up in East Baltimore around Federal Street around there. And we had an old Jewish guy who had a store. Of course, he gave us credit. He was probably beating us back then. But there was a black guy living over top. They were burning his store down. But they said, no, soul brother live upstairs. Soul brother live upstairs. So that's the only reason why they didn't burn his store down. We had to get the black glove, put it on your door.
So I heard the other who had something red on their door.
No, we had a black. You had to have something black on your door for them not to mess with your door. I remember the National Guard coming out. I mean, it was just, and I was born in '62, so I was only 6 years old, and this was just very eerie feeling, man, very eerie.
I remember Suburban Soda Company, Patterson Park and North, Patterson Park and Gate. Remember Suburban?
Yes.
I remember they started putting glass on top of their wall. You remember that? So people couldn't break in.
Right.
They put broken glass on the top of the wall. Because we live right around Patterson Park and Landville. It's right around the corner from Federal.
Okay.
My mother said, don't go around Bradford. So you was 6, I was 3. She said, don't go around Bradford Street or the boogeyman gonna get you.
Well, 3, you shouldn't have been out by yourself nowhere. 3.
What's that? You remember the chicken joint down on North and Patterson Park?
Yes.
Red Rooster or something?
Yes.
Somebody hand walked me down there, but they took my money. I'm gonna find that cat. I'm gonna find that cat, Jack. I'm gonna find that cat one day. Took my money. Go in there and they give me a sub or something.
Right.
And I never got no skates thanks to Paul. Paul got killed because he had on ball bearing number 5. I never got.
Oh yeah, man.
But they would ride back then. They would ride on the back bumper.
Yes. Get on the back of the bus, man.
Yeah.
Get on the back of the bus.
Well, Paul had the skates on and he slipped.
Ooh.
And my daddy buried him. I never got no skates.
Wow. Yeah. Ooh.
Back in the day.
Yeah, man.
There's a certain cohesion in East Baltimore. And I tell you, once you have experienced that, I don't know that I've ever experienced that. It's different on the West Side. I just think the rules are, for instance, I saw cats getting banked. As soon as I moved to West Baltimore, what you doing? 2, 3 on 1. I didn't see that in East Baltimore. I ain't saying it did not happen in East Baltimore.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Right. Well, it did. It did. It did. I've seen some things, man. I've seen some things in East Baltimore.
I saw some girls fighting East Baltimore. They were tearing up. One girl, Lord, I was a little boy, just amazed, like, wow.
Let me tell you a real quick story. When we lived in Lafayette, the guys would fight, but they because they had their good jeans on, they would take their clothes off, take their pants off. My cousin, Earl Dudley, would take his clothes off. And then it's fight because they didn't want to mess the clothes up. That's what they used to do, and just throw down.
Fighting their drawers?
Fighting in their silken walls. Yep.
Oh, that's back when silk drawers. I remember when the Pals came out, the 6-pocket Pals and Lee.
Right.
Yeah, I had to wear skins.
Me too. I was a husky dude growing up.
Oh, you wore the husky?
I wore the husky, bro. Yeah. My father was like, boy, you better wear them huskies. They better last too.
The Huskies. That was when Sears was at North and Broadway.
Come on, man. I tell people all the time, Walmart ain't new. Walmart ain't. Two guys was Walmart before Walmart.
I remember the black people started stealing out of Sears. You think Pennsylvania Avenue got some steel and something or guns?
Right, right.
North and Harvard, and they turned it into a courthouse as
Yes,
it
they
should be.
did. Yes,
Black
yeah.
people stole a Sears sign off the damn wall. But I do remember Leon's Pig Pen.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
North and Greenmount.
Yep, yep. That was a landmark, man. And look, but it's a guy that has that place now. It's a brother he's opened it up, and he has that place, and now it's nice. From what I understand, it's real nice.
Yeah, East Baltimore is something, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I don't like that either. When they say, "Oh, I'm East, I'm West," I love them both.
Right, right, right. But that's just I think has just always kept us separated. We work together more now, but you still,
PM Smith got to stop talking smack that division East and West. He said people that move west were bougie. Come on, Reb. You can't say that, Reb.
Or maybe he talking about the ones that moved to Randallstown and all that.
That's their prerogative. I'm hard on Vandalstown, Hoodlawn, and Owen my arm and my leg mills. But they still our peoples.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But don't abandon grandma's house back round the way. I tell you somebody that's a loyal East Sider, Joan Pratt.
Well, PM is too. PM still living in East Baltimore.
I know. We clear about that.
Right.
But you can't be throwing shade on West Baltimore, all the bougie, because that's a blanket statement, PM. Some people just. So where did Black start in Baltimore? East side or West side? Do you know the history?
East side.
Yeah, we started east, and then we migrated west.
Right. Couldn't go west. Couldn't go over no Wrightstown Road and Park Heights and all that stuff.
So it is techie guy. Glad to see you chatting with my frat brother. Tell me about your fraternity. I know about A. Philip Randolph. I know that A. Philip Randolph knew Senator Troy Braley here in Baltimore, that he visited his house, and they were part of the Porters Union and also what's called a National Brotherhood. Tell me about your fraternity. Let's go there.
Well, first of all, thank you again for being one of our speakers about 3 weeks ago at Collins. I mean, you did an awesome job, and you gave some knowledge to the community. I'm part of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, founded January 9th, 1914. And I tell you, it was one of the best decisions I ever did to join. I joined the grad chapter, Zeta Sigma, which was founded in January 1922. I've been a Sigma since fall 08, December of 2008. And I tell you, Donnie, the reason why I joined, when I went to University of Maryland College Park my first year in college, and I was interested in Sigma then, but freshmen couldn't pledge. So when I left there and came to Morgan. When I came to Morgan, I didn't see many Sigmas. They probably were suspended. I don't know what was going on, but I came to Morgan '82 with no Sigmas on the yard. And then I was working for Harvard Bank, and my good fraternity brother Kelly Fox. We were just talking and sparked the interest, and it was one of the best decisions I ever did. And I joined Sigma because I just wanted to be around some positive men like James Winky Canfield, Willie Nichols, Dr. Hill. These brothers, man, they just have so much wisdom. So Bob Nelson. Let me tell you a story about Bob Nelson. Bob Nelson is one of our senior brothers, and one of his sons joined. Now he has 4 sons. They're all part of Phi Beta Sigma. So we have a great brotherhood. We our founders are A. Langston Taylor, Leonard F. Morris, and Charles R. Brown. And like you said, some of the other guys you talked about, Elijah Cummings was a Sigma. John Lewis is a Sigma. So we have 3 programs that we focus on, which is big and better business, social action, education. And one of the programs that I spearheaded for about 12 years was our Sigma Beta Club. I tell you, Donnie, I mentored young boys from 8 to 18. twice a month on Saturdays. And when we have our own frat house on Greenmount Avenue, 2831 Greenmount Avenue, which we just renovated and going to probably opening it back up in August. And we just do so much in the community. You know, fraternities and sororities get a bad name about party, party, party. We do party, I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's not about party, party, party. We give back. We donate to, you know, to children for scholarships. We support our black businesses. We mentor in the schools. So I tell you, it's just one of the best things that I ever did is becoming a Sigma. And we have a lot of prominent folks out there. Our president, LaFawn Porter, who's been running our chapter for almost the last 4 years. And we just do a good job. You know, the brotherhood is so good that, you know, we're always looking for a few good men, but you need to make sure and do your research. You know, don't just join something because somebody else does it. Do your research and see where you can fit in. And I used to be the director of our Bigger and Better business at one point. And I used to stand in front of the room in front of probably about 60 to 70 men and say, we have everything we need in this room. We have attorneys, you know, my frat brother, Delegate N. Scott Phillips, you know, Van Roseborough, his wife, they opened up an adult daycare. We have attorneys, lawyers, professional athletes, police officers, you know, former Sheriff John Anderson. You know, we have so many people who just pour into each other, and it's just a great thing.
What Sigma has the most college degrees?
I don't know, Donnie. You probably Kevin Parsons.
God dang going Skippy. That man got like 17 degrees.
Yes, Kevin. And look, me and Kevin, tell you a quick story real quick about go back to basketball. Me and Kevin were introduced. We were both 13 playing. I was playing for Lafayette. He was playing for Madison. And we played in the championship. Had they won, he would have been the MVP. Had they won. We beat him 30-27.
Really? Kev was
nice.
On
Had they won, he would have been the MVP for Madison. He had a great game that day. He had a real good game.
I remember lifting weights over Chick Web.
I learned how to swim at Chick Web.
Chick Web. My first girlfriend was over in East Baltimore.
Well, you know, look, it's a saying that the West Side girls like the East Side guys, and the East Side guys like the West Side girls.
Lester Morton Court. You know where Lester Morton Court is?
I don't. Where is that?
It's right there, Caroline and Madison.
Okay.
Right across the street from Dunbar.
And I tell you, Donnie,
I'm talking way too much now.
Our fraternity, we celebrated 100 years in 1914. And it was spectacular, man. We were founded at Howard University. So we all went back there. And can you imagine seeing 50,000 young, old, middle-aged men all on the same accord? Man, it brought tears to my eyes. And I just thank God I was able to be a part of that. You know, something going on for 100 years, we got to be doing something right. For something to last for over 100 years, we got to be doing something right. And I tell you, we keep reinventing ourselves, and it's all about the brotherhood. It's really about the brotherhood, you know, and the other fraternities, they do great work as well. Sororities, they do great work as well. We all do good work. I would like to see us come together and work together better, you know, than what we do. But hey, that's my dream. But that was, like I say, one of the best decisions I ever made to become a Sigma.
Who's the sister organization?
Oh man, our sweet Zeta Phi Betas. Oh man, look, don't get it twisted.
You said that in a certain kind of way.
Right. Don't get it. We are the only legally bound brothers and sisters. The other stuff they say, it's not true. Excuse me. We are the only legally bound. Our founders helped them found their sorority. So that's why when you see a Zeta and a Sigma together, it's meant to be. It's meant to be. And our colors are the same. So, and our sweet Zetas, we can't say enough about them.
Say something about them.
They're beautiful, women of distinguish, women of honor. And and when you see a Zeta, she's gonna have those pearls on. Don't you know the comedian is a Zeta? Cheryl Underwood is a Zeta. Did you know that?
Maybe.
Cheryl Underwood used to be on The View. She actually was there with their bachelors at one point. I got to meet her when they came here to Baltimore. Beautiful lady.
What do you think when you hear people say, oh, not everybody's made for college? You came from Lafayette Homes. There are certain stigmas. I come from North Avenue, East and West. There's certain stigmas. I say North Avenue proper, but there's certain I'm not. There's certain. Some of us have moved on to here, and that I'm not coming at it. You say your favorite place is Pat Chase, Patterson Park and Chase. But I remember when Super Pride first went up. Tell me about that.
Well, when I was coming up, college was what you needed. You know, they used to tell us in high school, you know, this high school diploma is not going to be enough for you. When I was coming through, that's what they said. You know, however, we know that college is not for everyone. Some plumbers and electricians, they don't need to go to college, go to a trade school.
They need to know how to count their money.
Well, everybody needs financial literacy, of course. But you don't need to go to college for that. You know what the Jewish people do? They teach their children that themselves. And that's what we need to go back to.
We got excuses. And I'm going to drive this. I don't care what people say. You say what you want. Write your comments in the comments. We make excuses, but we justify stuff that we want to do.
Right. You're right.
We can't find our way to financial aid at Morgan State University, but we can find ourselves from East Baltimore to that party over at Howard University, all the way over in D.C. You know, how about this? Not everybody made for college, but as soon as they go over city jail or central booking,
they want to go then.
No, you won't be sitting in a classroom. They're going to sit you in the classroom. You go to Jessup, Hagerstown, you go to school. Why not just do it out here? And it's free. It's free.
Right. Hey, Doni.
It's free.
And I said, my favorite place is the Place Lounge, not Pat Chase. I like Pat Chase, but the Place Lounge.
Oh, the Place. My bad. You had to correct me.
That's all right. Well, I have a friend that we debate. We go down there, we debate. If you come down there, we have debates all the time. And just what you said, a friend of mine says, well, when I go to jail, I can go to school and get this. I said, well, not go for free. Why not go when you out? Don't be forced to go. Don't be forced to go. It's about choices, man. Choices.
We can ride a mini bike up Pennsylvania Avenue blindfolded going backwards, but we can't go to school. But as soon as you go over that jail, you're going to school. Why wait till then?
Well, I tell you, it's about.
You want to know how to sign your daggone name, son?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you want to know how to read Malcolm X's book?
Man, that's the first book I read from cover to cover, Doni. That's the first book I read from cover to cover.
Me too.
Without being a school book, you know.
How old were you?
Oh man, I was probably close to about 30.
I was 15.
He
said, I'd rather be what I am, a black man, than to claim membership with the most favored of any other race. I've been made sad when members of this or that particular race start claiming rights and privileges or certain badges of distinctions on the grounds that they belong to this or that particular race, regardless of their own individual worth or attainment. He said that merit is in the long run recognized and rewarded. I say that here not to call attention to myself as an individual, but to the race to which I'm proud to belong. I would say it helped change our lives. This book.
Yes, that's why.
I was speaking to some students, some seniors at Morgan in journalism some years back, and they said they had never read that book.
Look,
I was flabbergasted. What in the hell are we reading?
Well, let me look. I'm gonna get real personal with you. I
Tip
love
tap.
Doc. I love Dr. King, but Malcolm X was a bad. Shut your mouth. I asked my mama. I said, "Mama, why you never told me about Malcolm X?" She said, "I didn't know nothing about that. We just knew about Dr. King, even back then." And I'm like, "What?" I mean, I didn't know about Malcolm X till I got out of high school. I got
Malcolm
out of high school.
Malcolm when he went to Egypt and they got to
Yeah,
put him in Egypt by the
the trip to
pyramids,
Mecca.
the trip to Mecca, eating off the same plate as other races, and he brought that
Yes,
back home. And then people didn't like what he had learned. Some people didn't
right.
like what he had learned.
That's right. That's right. Man, Malcolm, to
Did
me, he was a prophet. To me,
He said the media is the most powerful entity on earth. It can make the innocent look guilty and the guilty look innocent.
amen, amen, amen. Yeah, and I still think we don't. I look. I watched a show the other day about him and his daughters was on there, and I
Oh,
still don't
Godfather
think they.
Harlem. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not no. This is like a documentary between him and Dr. King. But I still don't think we give him enough prop, because Malcolm was awesome.
I saw his daughter, Tyler. She walked right past me at the White House. I've always
Wow.
seen her from a distance, but to finally
Hmm.
see her, I could see.
Hmm.
And little boy, I don't know what Malcolm looked like in
Right.
person.
Right.
I could see him in her.
Hmm. Hmm.
Brother, was it Brother Bay? I think told me he hung out with Malcolm. Brother
Oh,
Bay,
really? Okay. Okay.
God rest his soul.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
We
Yeah.
got a couple comments in here, but me and Mr. Winky, I never knew. So you got all your boys on here, man. You know this cat here?
Oh yeah, Dale Wallace. That's my frat brother.
He owed me a steak dinner. Great, and I ain't forget that steak, and I like good steak too. Make it a tomahawk.
Did y'all go to Poly around the same time together?
And
Now
Morehouse.
Dale's a little older than you, right?
No, we Polly and Morehouse.
Okay.
We don't read enough, man. You know, our ancestors had to learn to read when they could have gotten killed.
Right.
And now we're so inundated with sports and entertainment.
Mm.
I love sports. I love sports.
Me too. Me too. But it's entertainment. Don't ever forget, it's entertainment.
You could be a stellar athlete, but if this ain't developed, and that's where Tim Dawson is a real hero.
Yes. Yes.
Because he did it on the court.
Life after basketball.
Life after sports.
Right. Right.
They trying to bring Usain Bolt out of retirement.
Mm-hmm.
As if that's all we can do. I'm
Right.
like, I remember the time Shea Howard Henderson and them brought Magic Johnson to Baltimore.
I was there, Donnie. I met him. I met him at the after party out Liberty Road. I ran up to him. I said, Magic's always my favorite player. I'm like, Magic, I gotta shake your hand.
He put that business acumen to work.
Yes. Yes.
LeBron.
Yes.
Used to business acumen and not getting caught up in all of them women. You know how many women come up to them?
Man, let me tell you. Dominique Wilkins told me one time, he said, look, 40 of the women are coming and 20 get past security. 20 of them get past security out of the 40. That's tough. That's tough.
Every night.
Yes. You got to be a disciplined. Look, you got to be like Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson and Derek Jeter. They didn't get married till they stopped playing. It's too much. It's too much temptation. That's hard for. That's too much temptation.
Jackson? You like Reggie?
Reggie Jackson, the baseball player. Yes.
You like him?
Yeah.
That's why I wear my Yankees gear, including number 44, my Yankee jersey.
Oh, man.
People in Baltimore get offended. I'm like, you must don't know the history. You must don't know that Baltimore had him. Had him.
Right. We had him. That's right. We had him. That's right.
What happened?
Let him go. Let him go. Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't want to give him that money. Ain't want to give him that money.
And he went where? He went to New York and did what?
Named a candy bar after him. hit 3 home runs in the World Series.
Thank you.
I was watching the game, Donnie.
I was watching the game.
My sister predicted. My sister said he gonna hit another one. I said, girl, you don't know what you talk about. Don't nobody hit no 3 home runs in one game.
But the first one he dug deep. I mean, I looked at the picture. He was so low to the ground, like he had to go down and get it.
Yep.
Like whatever you throw down here, whatever. And for me, that was the black man saying, I've dealt with all of your sugar, honey, and iced tea. Let me show you what I think of it.
Yep.
And
yep.
That's why I wear that Yankee thing.
That's right. That's right.
Plus the oil thing, I ain't have a whole lot of orange. I got some orange now.
You should have some orange.
I got some orange. It ain't my favorite color. I like the blue. You can wear the blue with anything, man.
Right. Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
Tell me some of your. Do you know? Are there any famous Zetas that we need to acknowledge?
Well, my girl. Anita Hill is a Zeta. Anita Hill's a Zeta.
Is that the one with Clarence Thomas?
Clarence Thomas, yes. And
he was very disrespectful to that black woman.
Yes.
He should have had his hind paws whipped.
Yes. And look what he's doing for us now. Nothing.
They say they call him Clarence Thomas because he always selling.
Right. We got the young lady who's a professional singer. Oh my goodness, her name escapes me though, but she's a really good singer. She's a Zeta. No, she's not a Zeta. Yeah. But we got some good prominent people.
Tell me about the sisters who came out that night.
Yes. The young lady who was there just graduated from Syracuse. Her mother is Natalie, and Erica just graduated from Syracuse, keeping the tradition going. And her sister Adrian, which is her aunt, was there. Vivica Fox is a Zeta. Thank you, Brother Dale. See, I ain't even had to throw a lifeline. My brother's always there to help. That's what we do in Sigma, bro. We always there.
Yeah, y'all been good to me.
You've been good to us, man. Look, I brag about you all the time, Donnie. And I've met you before I became a Sigma. But you've always been there. You've always kept it 100. And that's what I love the most about you. You keep it 100. Sometimes you get people a little rattled up, but you mean to do that. That's part of your makeup. You want to get them rattled up. And just keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
Before you go, you got to tell me about Mac Lewis Gym, East Side Boxing.
Well, I was never a boxer, but that was awesome. You know, it changed a lot of people. It changed, on Broadway. Hasim, I think, came from there. And we had another guy who was in the middleweight who came from there as well. But he changed a lot of guys' lives.
Yeah, that name escapes me.
Betway. I think Betway came out of there as well.
Vince.
Me and his children went to Mount Zion school together. My children's children went to Mount Zion, which is a Christian school up on Belvedere.
What's your church over there?
Well, I tell you, man, I love PM, man. I just got to get up and make that 9 o'clock service. PM Smith is,
I went in his church, man. That's a beautiful church.
Yes, it is, man. Well, I lost my wife 3 years ago, and it was during COVID. So my wife, thank you. So my wife was a member of New Sambas, and they weren't having funerals. And my good friend Steve Williams, who's a member of Huber, talked to PM, and man, they opened the doors up. And then 2 weeks later, PM invited me back and talked. Man, I love PM Smith, man.
Let me tell you what I know about PM. When he comes with his whole church over to Pennsylvania and Lawrence, They
Mm-hmm.
set out chairs. And
That's
they set
right.
up the mic.
That's right. That's
And
right.
they bring gifts to Pennsylvania and
Yeah.
West Baltimore. That
Right.
church all the way northeast Baltimore. He come
That's right.
all the way. And he stay there and he talks.
Yes. Yeah.
One day I was getting off the subway. That man drove me to my house. PM.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's like, get in there. I
Mm-hmm.
said, I live right there. He said, get in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can't
He's
beat that.
He's a man's man, man. Look.
Let me tell you, when Julius's sister died, that was the first time Julius Henson's, when his sister went home, that was the first time I've been inside a beautiful church.
Well, let me put one plug in real quick, Donnie. We got Sigma Weekend coming up. The last weekend, the fourth weekend of August, man. What's when we celebrate. On Friday night, we'll be at the Place Lounge. On Saturday, we'll be at Oakmont playing golf. And then on Sunday, we cap it off with our biggest fundraiser at Martin's West. It's the fourth weekend in August. We've been doing it coming up on 40 years, celebrating at Martin's West, having our awesome crab feast.
So you want to put a phone number out there?
I don't have a phone number because I don't have any of that information in front of me. But I mean, you should just go on and Google Zeta Sigma chapter, and everything will pop up.
Yeah, Philip Randolph is the Sigma that I will always remember, because he was the leader for MLK, Dr. King.
Yes. Well, let me tell you also,
first organizers.
We've always been involved in the look. When they did the Million Man March, Zach McDaniels and the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, they used to meet at our headquarters over in DC on Kennedy Avenue. So Sigma has always been involved in helping out these civil rights actions.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yep. And Zach McDaniels is the godfather of Baltimore. I love Zach, man. Never copping night.
We came out together.
Uh-huh.
Any final thoughts?
Donnie, again, thank you so much. Anything you ever need,
you know,
I'm there for you.
New Jersey now. You can't just be giving away the Godfather title and the cat ain't never walked North Avenue. I don't know about all that. We had to talk
I don't know about Zach is the Godfather, bro. Zach is the Godfather.
Yeah, I don't know about the Godfather.
Yeah, he the Godfather, man. Look, you seen that movie about the real black Godfather of Hollywood? That's how Zach make things happen, bro.
Avon, wasn't it? Avon.
Yeah, Avon. Yeah.
Avon.
Yeah. And Donnie, anytime you need anything, and I can come back on and talk some more banking. I just gotta, like you said, get it cleared and everything, because some of them folks that want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. But I would love to come back and talk about, because like you said, the Blail is so important. And years ago I did something for you. Know your banker. Everybody know their attorney. Everybody know their insurance person. Everybody know their accountant, but people don't know their bankers. And when you don't know your bankers, it can hurt you.
Because them people over at Fulton Bank is the black lady over there, and then
Dion,
the cat over at Harbor Bank.
Mm-hmm.
They've been a huge support. I got to tell you, Joe Haskins has been probably the biggest banker support. Andy Bertamini, white guy, he's retired now, but Andy Bertamini, remember him?
Yes.
Andy Bertamini. But yes, we must know bankers. We must know their number. And the cat over at M&T, Jim Peterson, he's been trying to catch up with you.
Yep.
Trying to laugh. You better watch him.
It's all good. It's enough for all of us.
But you guys got to know each other too. I imagine there's some type of Black Bankers Association.
Oh yeah. The urban bankers used to be around. It's not as prevalent as it used to be, but urban bankers.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, my man Bert Hash was the president when I was coming through.
Mr. Bert.
Yeah, Bert Hash was the president. Adrian Johnson was the president, who was at MECU. So I don't know. I think it's still urban bankers. It's called something different, but it's still out there. still out there.
We need these organizations that keep us together and keep us connected. And it should be
Absolutely.
easier now than ever before. Phil,
Yep.
how can people get in touch with you if they want to reach you?
Man, they can give me a call at 443-506-2932. My email address is PROV as in Victor
443.
PHIL
Man, slow down. 443-506
2932.
and PRO. You still got AOL. You've got mail.
Right. ProbPhil@AOL.com.
Does it still say you've got mail?
No, I don't do that anymore.
I hope you ain't paying for it no more. Okay.
You know, we had that conversation. They got me for a minute.
Much love, big brother. East Side for life.
Donnie, thank you, bro. God bless you, bro.
Yes, sir. Up to date, down tomorrow, do your day, and everything will follow. Nothing to it but to do it. I got to do it, regardless of how I feel. East Side, I am somebody. I am my brother's keeper. Good morning, world.